Hello, V Squad, and welcome back to another episode of V Girl TV. This is your girl V, and I'm sure you guys are wondering, well, you're probably not wondering, but I'm just going to give you a disclaimer that my one strap is like this because I had purchased this from Fashion Nova a while back. And I don't know if you ever purchased anything from Fashion Nova, but the quality of the clothes from Fashion Nova is a no bueno. So this is what happens. I was trying to figure out if maybe, because I was trying to get cute for you guys, if I could just like pretend, or maybe if I had like a pin or something. Yeah, I don't have a pin, so that's that. Anyway, so in this video, I'm actually going to be talking about my trip to Colombia. So I wasn't going to drop this video because I actually had a really bad experience in Colombia. But so many of you guys have been reaching out to me and telling me, drop that video, drop that video. Wow. Look what quarantine is doing to me. This is, oh my God. Okay, I'm just gonna keep my arms down. Anyway, a lot of you guys have been telling me to drop that video, so guess what? I'm gonna drop that video. But because, let me just give you a backstory about what happened when I went to Colombia and why this trip was not the best for me and why I don't think that I would ever return back to Colombia. So initially when I went to Colombia, well, we decided that we were going to Colombia. I was so excited. Amir was so excited because Amir is like literally my travel buddy. Like, he travels, he loves to travel, and I just love that about my little guy. So he was so excited to go to Colombia, and we were like, yeah, we're gonna go to Colombia. I've been seeing so many people posting about Colombia, so I'm like, okay, I gotta go to Colombia, right? So we went to Medellin. So I don't even know where to start. So the airport, we flew Copa. That was cool, right? We get to Colombia. I just wanted to say this. Customs in Colombia, immigration, disgusting, okay? I don't know, maybe I went on a day when, the person, they weren't really, I don't know, but their attitude was terrible. So that in itself was like a major turnoff for me. Customs going through Colombia, they had an attitude problem, and I was just not feeling it, okay? So we get to Colombia, we get our bags, we go through customs, immigration, everything is cool. We go outside and, we wait for our van. So I wasn't the one that planned this trip. My mom was the one that actually planned this trip to Colombia. And, the tour guide, he was super sweet. He was super nice. He was actually a friend of my mom. He lived in Colombia, so he organized everything for us as far as transportation, hotel, food, everything. Pretty much he handled everything. So this is my thing. I don't know if it's because my mother was the one that actually planned the trip to Colombia and not me. There wasn't anything on the itinerary that I felt like I wanted to go see. The only thing that I really wanted to go see was a graffiti tour, which I was actually looking forward to the graffiti tour. So we get to Colombia. I'm looking around. The first thing I noticed is that it's very green, coming from the airport, a lot of greenery, and then we get to the hotel. So the hotel was a very small hotel. They were a mom and pop hotel that just started, so for that, I'm going to give them the pass. I'm not going to, talk bad about them because you know what? Anybody that's starting from ground zero and moving their way up, kudos to them. We were actually the first guests that they had, so they, the first big group of people that came to visit the hotel. The hotel pretty much isn't something that I personally, if I was going to book it, I probably would. This is getting on my nerves, guys, like for real. Okay, maybe, okay. I feel like, I don't know why I feel like I'm naked. Okay, okay, this is better. No, it's not. Listen, y'all just gonna have to just deal with this, okay? 'Cause I can't. Anyway, so the hotel literally, it was small, but the owners came from humble beginnings, and I know what it's like to start a business from scratch and people not giving you an opportunity because you don't fit that specific 5-star vision of what people feel like, or I just know what it feels like to be a small business and you're competing with companies that have millions of dollars or hundreds and thousands of dollars to put into their business. So I completely get it. The owners were super sweet. They were super nice. And for that, I'm so grateful. They were super hospitable. Yeah, that's the word. So I don't really have any complaints about that. The hotel wasn't 5-star, but it also wasn't trash either. It was just, regular, right? But why I give them a really good review is because the owners were very loving, they were very helpful, they were very friendly, and they were also very humble. So that's the reason why I'm like, you know what? I would give it another try, right? So the first day when we get to Colombia, it was pretty chilly, which I wasn't expecting that. But thank God I had a jacket, and Amir had a jacket as well. So we went to like this little town, and it was cute, cute. What I did love about it is that when you go up the stairs, it takes you all the way to the top of maybe like a little mountain thing, and you literally could see the entire city. Okay, it was beautiful, the lights. And the thing about Colombia, it's very it's not level. It's not a level country. It's very mountainish. Like everything is on top of each other, kind of one on top of the, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's very mountainy, and it's very level. It's not flat is basically what I'm trying to say. So that was super cute, and it was okay, cool. So after that, the following day, what did we do? We visited, we just drove around the town just to see. And one thing that I noticed in Medellin, I didn't see no black people. I did not see too many black people. I may see a sprinkle here and there, but I didn't see much black people. So that was kind of okay. And, I guess I was in the wrong part. I was hoping to see more people of color. I was hoping to see more people that looked like me, but whatever. That was not the case in Medellin. So the following day, we went to a location called Guatapé. We woke up pretty early. Before we went to Guatapé, we went to this place. It was a small, a restaurant where we had traditional Colombian breakfast, which is arepa, and they have this cocoa, a hot cocoa thing, but it's natural hot cocoa. It was okay, I guess. It was okay. For the sake of exploring culture, it was cool, but I don't think that I would have survived off eating arepa every single day. And it seems like that's what you eat, that's what they eat every single day. And I'm not really an arepa type of girl, so it is what it is, So I wasn't really impressed with the food. Yeah, so that's what we had, arepa and hot cocoa. And I was just okay, cool. It was cool, it was cool. Then after we had breakfast, we went to the city of Guatapé, which that was beautiful. We went on a tour. It was a boat tour, and we seen Pablo Escobar's house, James Rodriguez, the soccer player house, and all that was pretty cool. All that was cool. I didn't have, that was cool. Guatapé was beautiful, and then they took us to this restaurant. There we shopped at the local market. That was pretty cool. It was cool vibes. Okay, I was hoping that I was gonna get to go ATV riding or something super exciting. But yeah, that did not happen. It was mostly sightseeing, and hearing the history and about the culture, which was cool. But I wanted a little bit more. So the following day, we were supposed to go to the graffiti tour, right? So this is when everything just turned turned for me and turned for the worst, okay? So after we went through the whole day, we went to Guatapé, we seen the little mountain where you go up the stairs, we did all that. Oh, actually the restaurant there was actually pretty good. I had like fish with plantain, that was good, right? And they had this thing which was like a lemonade, which is something similar to what they have here in Panama called rabadura, which me and my son, we love some rabadura, like, okay, we just love that, right? So that was cool, the food there was cool, right? By the end of the tour, I started getting like itchy. Now, I just want to tell you guys that when I went to Colombia, it was literally the beginning of February. So 3 weeks prior to that, I had went to Bocas del Toro. A week before I went to Colombia, I was in Bocas del Toro. So I went to Bocas, and then the following week, I was going to Colombia. So this is actually the second day in Colombia when this happened, right? So that night, my throat just felt like really weird. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to find a pharmacy because your girl wasn't feeling too good, right? So finding a pharmacy where we were was a little bit difficult too because there was like nothing literally around, right? So we're like walking, we finally find a pharmacy, and I get like Vicks cough drops, right? Because like I said, it was just, my throat wasn't feeling too good, right? So I get the cough drops, and then the following day, you know, I'm like sucking on the cough drops or whatever. The following day I wake up about at 8 o'clock or whatever. I wasn't feeling so good, but I was just like, okay, you know, whatever, right? Cool. By the time the bus came, and by the time I got on the bus, your girl was sick as a mother effing dog, okay? I'm talking about fever, like, I'm not even gonna hold you up. I was so scared that I had coronavirus because this was around the time when corona was just like popping up and the cases in America was like rising and Trump was saying whatever he was saying. And I'm just like, oh my God, I hope I don't have corona, you know? So this literally came out of nowhere. Like, no, so when we're on the bus now, I forgot this part. When we were on the bus, I started coughing out of nowhere. It started like a dry cough. And I'm like, why am I coughing like this? So this one, I thought I had allergies. So then that night, I was like, I was going to go to the pharmacy to get something for my throat because I'm like, okay, I don't understand why I'm coughing. Like, I had this dry cough. Now, the following day, when they came to pick us up, I'm like, I have this like dry cough, right? And then a few moments later, I literally bust out in a fever and I'm like feeling so weak and I'm like, oh my God, like I feel so sick. So my mom was like buying me like tea because like I said, there's no pharmacy anywhere close by, right? The night before, we had to walk miles and miles and miles to the point where I was like, okay, I just want to take an Uber because there was no pharmacy and I couldn't find a pharmacy. So where we were staying, there was like literally no pharmacy, no place to get any medication. It was just like, and I wasn't expecting to get sick. See, if I was expecting to get sick or if I thought there was a possibility of me getting sick, I probably would have carried my emergency kit because I always have like emergency kit like when I'm going away. I literally have like medication and everything that I would need in my little kit just in case. But for some reason, I didn't think to bring it, you know? When I tell you I was so sick like a dog, by the time we got to this place called El Hueco or something like that, or there was like this town or whatever where they were like, okay, we're gonna take you to the pharmacy. I'm like, okay, where's the pharmacy? And I started getting really aggravated because I'm like, where the hell is a damn pharmacy? Like, you cannot tell me that we've been driving for freaking 45 minutes and there's no pharmacy nowhere around. Another thing that I didn't really like, this is a sidebar, is about Colombia, is that every corner there was like a homeless person on the street. Like it was either a disabled, handicapped, or a homeless person, and they're all like begging for money. So that kind of was just like, it didn't really sit well with me. But fast forward back to what I was telling you. So we finally get to this location where there's a pharmacy, and I'm like, I'm looking for the medication that I can get in Panama. So basically, there's a medication that you can get in Panama that's amazing. It's an anti-flu pill. And literally, when I take that anti-flu pill, I take it, fall asleep, the following day, good to go, right? So they didn't have it, right? So I'm like looking it up to find out the ingredients so I can show the pharmacist, and she probably was lying to me, but she gave me some medication. And so I take the medication and I eat something and I'm like, okay, I feel a little bit better. Like the fever went down, which made me feel a little bit better, but I still was not feeling my best, right? So everyone's like shopping. I literally did nothing for that day because I felt terrible. Okay, okay? I felt absolutely terrible and I didn't want to walk, so I literally sat down on a bench and waited. I didn't want to spoil everyone else's fun because I didn't feel good, and I couldn't even go back to the hotel if I wanted to because it was the only form of transportation and I was by myself and I wasn't trying to hop into no taxi in Colombia. Yeah, it wasn't gonna work. So I didn't want to spoil anyone else's fun, so I literally just sat down and just waited 2 hours for everyone to come back from shopping. So then we were going to the next tour place, which was called the Graffiti Tour, which was in, I forgot the name of the barrio, but the girl there was so sweet, right? So we go to the Graffiti Tour, and again, I was not feeling too well. I had to use the bathroom. I just was really not in a good mood, right? So the things that wouldn't have bothered me if I was feeling well, it wouldn't have bothered me, but because I felt so crappy and because I was not in the best mood because I felt like crap, everything pissed me off that day. Like literally everything was pissing me off, right? So I had to use the bathroom, and so it was like a comunidad something, I forgot what it's called. But so these people, the history behind it was really, really interesting. It was a group of, it was a community in Colombia that was ran by drug lords, and the people were held hostage in their own community. And finally, when they were able to get out, they started, they have like graffiti, they built like graffiti, and they basically brought income into their own community. So the girl who was hosting the tour, she was such a sweet girl, and she was really beautiful, by the way. She was beautiful, right? So the restaurants are in people's homes. Like, so people will cook the food and then you go up to this little quarter, but it's literally like in people's homes, and the bathroom is in people's homes as well. So I had to use the bathroom and I had to go up these stairs. So now the stairs aren't like regular stairs, like they're like these little small narrow stairs that go around and they wrap around, okay? So imagine having a fever of 100 and something degrees, and you have to walk up. You're already weak, you're thirsty, you don't feel well, you want to go to the bathroom, and you got to walk up these long flight of stairs just to go to the bathroom. Then when you get to the bathroom, you realize that the bathroom is in someone's house, and then you get into the person's bathroom, and then the seats are broken, and then there's no toilet paper. So like I said, if I wasn't sick, it probably wouldn't have bothered me, but because I was so sick, everything was annoying me at that point. Like every single thing was annoying me. I couldn't flush the toilet. It was just like, oh my God, like really, like why? So then we eat or whatever. I try to eat whatever I could eat or whatever. The food was actually pretty good. Like whoever made the food, they did a good job, you know? I love me some fish, so I love seafood, period. And then it was time to walk. Okay, now this tour literally required walking and walking and walking and walking and walking, right? Child, let me just tell you, I was through, okay? I was through with it. I was just, yeah, so that at this point, the fever came back, right? And I'm just like, okay, I just need to get back to the location. I tried my best to push through, but I didn't feel well at all. Like I felt so sick. Like I can't even begin to explain to you how bad I felt. I felt so bad. So by the end of the tour, we left. When we got back on the bus, I slept the whole time. And then by the time we got back, I stayed in the hotel the rest of the trip. I was so sick to the point where my chest literally felt like it was like closing in on me. Like literally, like it was just like closing in to the point where I could not breathe. Thank God my mom had her asthma pump, because I was just like pumping myself and pumping air into me because I felt so bad and I was like so sick that I couldn't even fathom how bad I felt. Like it was just horrible. So for the rest of the time that I was in Colombia, I stayed inside the hotel the whole entire time. I mean, maybe if I didn't feel sick and maybe if I did not get sick, probably would have had a better time, but I don't think so. The trip in itself, it was a no for me, dog. It was a no for me, dog. It was a no for me, dog, okay? I didn't like it. I didn't like Medellin. No disrespect to anyone who is from Medellin, Colombia, but me personally, I don't think that it was for me. I've met people that absolutely loved it and they was like, oh my God, I love Medellin. But for me, it's a no. It's a no for me. I would not Maybe if I went to Cartagena or something like that, maybe where there's like beaches, but no, it's a no for me, dog. It wasn't. So this is the conclusion to my video. Again, me visiting Colombia was my personal experience and what I went through when I went to Colombia. The whole gist is I don't think I would be returning, and I believe that I had COVID because all the symptoms felt the same. But I'm pushed through and I'm here, and I hope you guys understand that everything ain't for everybody. You know, don't take offense to it, and don't, because I'm not talking bad about the country, because I'm really not. It's just that my personal experience, I didn't really like it, and I don't think that I would be, this is gonna get on the nerve, and I don't think that I would be returning to Colombia. So if you guys ever been to Colombia, let me know what your thoughts are. What did you do when you were in Colombia? Maybe it was just my experience wasn't the best. So I'm curious to hear if you ever went to Colombia, let me know what your thoughts was, what did you do, and if you had a good time. And maybe depending on what you guys put, maybe I might give it another try. Maybe I might just give it a try. So as usual, thank you guys for tuning in. If you are new to this channel, welcome. And for those of you who are my subscribers, my longtime loves, thank you so much for continuously supporting my channel. And as usual, guys, peace and love.